So to start the ceremony, I'd like to invite Caleb Small to do our national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and our NHESETA lieutenants.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alpha, you par?
Alpha Company has par, sir.
Bravo.
Bravo Company has par, sir.
Charlie.
Charlie Company has par, sir.
Delta.
Delta has par, sir.
Echo.
Echo has par, sir.
Foxtrot.
Foxtrot has par, sir.
Golf.
Golf has par, sir.
Hotel.
Hotel has par, sir.
Look, guys, I remember my alphabet. Literally the first time this week. I want to be the first to thank you and welcome you guys all to the Fire Academy, to the first 2023 graduation class for the New Hampshire Emergency Service Explorer Training Academy. These guys had a week, let me tell you, a filled to the brim, 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. every day. Every minute was filled. We are, as a staff, extremely proud of them. As a little bit of history here, we started planning this program 17-ish months ago. The board of directors consists of 13 people, and it's been non-stop planning and a labor of love. Chief Cook told these guys Friday night, a week ago, that they came in as 53 individuals, and they're all leaving as family. So, welcome to the fire service family. On behalf of me, the staff, the board of directors, we are so proud of you guys and what you've accomplished this week. The teamwork skills that you've built, the memories that you've made will last a lifetime. As we've told you all week, a lot of us went to the prior academy, and a lot of us are still here today. So we hope to see you back here next year as an explorer, as an advisor, as a staff member, or a volunteer. You're all welcome back here. You're part of this family now. And now I'd like to bring up Assistant Director of the Fire Academy, Jeff Phillips, for his opening remarks.
Good afternoon. Congratulations, cadets. On behalf of the director and all the staff here at the New Hampshire Fire Academy EMS, we congratulate you and welcome you to the Fire Academy. As Mike said, about 17, 18 months ago, the director's phone rang from Mike, and there was a question in regards to would the Fire Academy host the Explorer program once again. Nothing made us happier than bringing the Explorer program back for a week at the Fire Academy. It's an amazing experience. I was a little disappointed at the beginning of last week when I looked at the forecast and I saw kind of rain and 70-degree weather. 20 years ago, I had the ability to be a group captain for the then Explorer program. And usually Explorer Week was 95 degrees, thunderstorms, torrential downpours, and this week I had an interview with one gentleman on your staff, and he came in just as the downpour stopped and was soaking wet. So Mother Nature came through. This program is the epitome of the New Hampshire Fire Service. If you look at the two trucks that came in here, Hopkinton and Plaistow, Hopkinton's relatively close, but they're not super close. All the people's uniforms, the staff, and I'm not talking about the staff of the academy, your instructors, all the staff up here, all the departments that are represented to put this on is amazing. And no one got paid. It's 100% volunteer because they love the fire service. They want to pass on the traditions and the education to the next generation of fire and EMS personnel coming up. So please give all the staff a round of applause, because without their hard work, dedication, and time, this wouldn't have happened. The staff here at the Fire Academy, we hosted it. We do anything to host, but really the people that made it work are all the people in the gray shirts. So congratulations, and we thank you for what you did. I'm going to keep it short because it's hot. I get the honor of introducing your next speaker. About 20 years ago, I took the privilege. He hired me as a full-time captain here at the Fire Academy while he was director. I can tell you 20 years ago, I would have never thought that I would have come up through the ranks and in the position that I currently am. So please welcome retired director Richard Mason.
Thank you very much, Jeff. It's a pleasure for me to see you in the assistant director position right now. So, two things have been in my bloodline: scouting and the fire service. Next Wednesday, if I were not retired, would be my 48th anniversary in the fire service. This October will be my 60th anniversary as a scout. I still do it. I love what I'm doing. And the Daniel Webster Council, as a member of the executive board and vice president of the Scout Council, we're very, very happy to be able to co-host this and actually have anybody that was not in an Explorer post before the Academy started. They are now in Explorer Post 603. Jim Buttafuoco is our council president, which is the top volunteer position in the council, and he's at another graduation at our scout camp tonight. However, our CEO is here, and I'd like to point him out so you can say hi to him. Jay Gary in the back. The support of the council, the executive board, are all very, very important. Last Friday night, I stood at a podium in the cafeteria and spoke to you all. I asked anybody in the cafeteria that is not in the cadets this year, but has been a cadet in the Explorer Academy here in New Hampshire, would you please stand up so we could see or wave if you're not sitting. But please stand up if you've been a cadet formally here at an Explorer Academy. As Chief Mike said in the beginning, yes, please give him a hand. Thank you. Chief Mike said in the beginning that we hang around, and we hang around for a reason. It's called paying it forward, and I know that at least half of you will pay it forward at some point in time. Another thing that I said last Friday night is I wanted all Eagle Scouts, because this is a partnership with the scouting. If you're an Eagle Scout and you're here, please raise your hand. I am going to go a step further. I would like any of the Eagle Scouts, please see me right afterwards if you would. I might have a little gift for you. At this time, I'm going to turn it back over to Chief Mike. Thank you very much. Congratulations, all of you.
So I get the honor and privilege to introduce our keynote speaker today. When we decided that this was officially going to come back, we wanted to bring someone in to either do a class or to speak at graduation that kind of had a little bit of notoriety. We went as far as to reach out to Dennis Leary, Steve Buscemi, members of the Chicago Firecast. If anyone here is on social media, you may have seen the Fire Department Coffee guy. So he was gracious enough to do 2 videos for the kids, one that we put on the website 2 weeks before they came, and then one they got to see the night of their registration, which they all thought was great, and it was fun for us as a staff as well. In the fire service, we have mentors and people that we look up to, people that show great passion and pride for the work and do the job well and are able to take their knowledge and impart it on other people. So I asked the board if I could reach out to one of those people, and I did, and got a pretty immediate response. And he was able to come last night. He spent dinner with the cadets. He did a class for them last night and did a question and answer session, and some of the questions were pretty amazing and entertaining. But I think they got a lot out of it. So it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Battalion Chief John Selka of the New York City Fire Department for today's keynote address.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't want to say I do a lot of these things, but I do a lot of these things. Different types of graduations, recruit graduations, promotion ceremonies, all sorts of fire department functions where groups gather to celebrate the completion of a course of work by a group of people. And today we're here to honor and celebrate with this group of young fire service professionals. When I got the invitation to come up here, it started as a text message and then went to an email. I think we ended up with a phone call somewhere along the way, and I immediately said yes. I mean, I do lots of stuff where I go do all-day conferences and hands-on training and all sorts of stuff. These are always special when you come to a program like this for young people, for people that are just either exploring the fire service or looking into it or breaking into it. It's always a little special for me because I remember where I started. Because when I was a young man, when I was just graduating high school, I was in an explorer post as well. A police explorer post. Luckily, I escaped. Joined the volunteer fire department, and the rest is history. However, when you look at this, for those of you that are involved in the fire service in any way, shape, or form, whether it's family or friend, volunteer, career, we're having a recruitment and retention problem in the fire service. I think the whole country is. I think McDonald's is too, and everywhere else. I don't know who's working and who's not working, but we're having a problem filling all the seats. And when you start a program like this, or in the case of here, this program's been in place for a long time, this is a great recruitment and retention program because it gets people started early. It gives them a little taste of what it is. Just from what I heard last night, and I just arrived last night, I've never set foot on this campus before, and what I heard last night, I can tell you that these boys and girls, these young adults here, either they are going to go and try and join the fire department as soon as they can, or they're going to run away and never look back. One or the other, because they got their full share of fire service education and training and the good stuff and the bad stuff, and all the instructors will laugh. We know there's bad stuff, there's favorite stuff and not so favorite stuff. They did it all. I don't know how you squeeze it in a week, but they managed to do it. Another thing I noticed was when they were asked to stand up, folks that were previous members, previously attended this program, half of the folks here in the gray shirts stood up. And that goes to show you something too. When people come back to instruct in a program that they graduated from years earlier as a young student. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about. The group can listen, but I'm talking to you. The next generation. We're all proud. I'm sure the instructors are all proud. I'm very proud to be just a little itsy-bitsy tiny piece of this great program because this is the next generation right here. You come back 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I'm not sure who's going to be here, but some of them are going to be here. We know that. And 20 years from now, some of these people are going to be riding around in chief's cars, and some of these people are going to be captains riding in the front seat somewhere in some fire department, be it volunteer or career. So this really is, and I'm sure the instructors and the folks here at the Academy know it, this is really the creation of the next generation of the fire service here in New Hampshire, which is something to be really proud of. You folks must remember, can't lose the notes, you folks must remember that what you're doing is public service. Some of us forget that in the fire service because it's what? Fun. Because we can't wait to get to work. I did 33 years with the FDNY, and I must tell you, every single night before I was going to work, I was just tickled pink. My wife was like, "Are you listening to me?" I said, yeah, go ahead. What? Yeah, I was just thinking about going to work tomorrow for 33 years. You know, it's so good that that's true, but sometimes we forget it's public service. And you don't realize how much the folks that you're going to serve, and you probably already have served in some capacity already, how much the folks that we work for, how much they really appreciate it, and how much they really depend on us. There are people, there are senior citizens, there are young married couples, there are people visiting and driving through your community that run into trouble, that lock their keys in their car, that have a flat tire, that have a medical emergency, and they know if they call 911 that the fire department's coming. The fire department never says no. Now, for those of you that are or were dispatchers, sometimes I kid around because a couple of my good friends have been dispatchers, and they said, you can't believe the stuff that people call up with for the fire department. And eventually a red fire engine shows up at their address or at their corner or at their location, and we handle it. Whether we've been trained for it or not, whether we've done it before or not. I talked to you guys and gals last night, did I not, about a couple of the situations that we found? What did I tell you we did with the cat? The cat that was caught between the house and the garage squeezed itself in there, and the cat couldn't get out. How did we get it out? Smoothbore nozzle. Right. I know that may not sound nice to you, but it did work, and the cat was unhurt in the filming of that show. So I want you to remember, every time you go to work, every time you go hang out at the volunteer firehouse for drill night, every time you go for a shift at the career fire department or on call, whatever your status is, remember that it's public service, and public service is good. It's not all exciting, it's not all daring, it's not all of it isn't even really fulfilling, but it's all important to somebody. The next thing you've already learned, and I did see it last night, when they were giving out those certificates, you folks were just so excited when you got a certificate for the best this or the best that. It was pretty interesting. A couple of you got two of them, right? This brother and sisterhood that we belong to. It was always just a brotherhood when I joined the fire department, because there were no gals in the fire department back then, 40 years ago. Now there are. Now we're fully integrated. We got whatever you want on the fire department. We're all here, and the brother sisterhood is very important. It's what keeps us alive, and it's different. Now, I know people that work for the electric company. I know people that work for the town or for utilities or whatever it is. And I know some of the workers get close to each other and would help each other out if they needed a day off or something like that. But it's different. It's different in the fire service. I just saw. Did anybody see the show on TV the other night? LA Fire Department. There was a show on the other night. It's an actual, camera following around actual firefighters. Turns out a young man, one of the young, brand new recruits in the firehouse, got cancer, and his treatment was so long that he didn't have enough medical leave to cover it. He was going to have to go on a no pay status, including no benefits, and he had a family, and everybody in the firehouse stepped up. You guys know what step up means, right? Everybody in the firehouse stepped up and worked a 24-hour shift for him. 20 guys each worked the shift. 20 shifts were covered. This guy stayed on the payroll, stayed being treated. His family stayed under the protection of all their benefits, because the brothers and sisters in this guy's firehouse said, I'll work a shift for him. And this isn't a mutual. This isn't, you can pay me back next month. This is a frio. This is a gift. And that's what brotherhood and sisterhood is all about. A guy in my firehouse, where I was a captain years ago, developed cancer. After he left, he became a lieutenant, went to a different firehouse, and he had severe cancer, and it killed him, quickly. But while he was sick, the guys in that firehouse got together. What are we going to do? What are we going to do for him? And one weekend, they went out to his house out on Long Island and completely landscaped the whole place. The grass was about a foot tall because he didn't have any children old enough to start the lawnmower yet. They completely landscaped the house, ripped out some old bushes, put some new ones in, planted new grass, cut the trees, cut this, cut that. The guy's house looked beautiful when it was all over. And a weekend or two later, they had a little barbecue for a fundraiser, and they were able to give the family, like $10,000 cash to cover incidental expenses while he was laid up. That's what the brotherhood and the sisterhood is about, and it goes on and on and on. And most people in most jobs don't experience that and don't benefit by that, but we do in the fire service, and it's wonderful. And the last thing I want to mention is our customers. Alan Brunacini is a pretty famous guy. Not so famous anymore because he died. When you die, you sort of just disappear. Bad news. But Alan Brunacini was at the top of the pile in the fire service. Big, national, well-known instructor. And he started 30 years ago talking about customers. Mrs. Smith, the people that we deal with that call us for all the things they want. And I thought it was a ridiculous concept, customers. They're not customers. These people are victims. These people need our help. We don't call them customers. And like many other things in life, I've come around. And customers is a very important thing. And the most important people in the world, when you're on duty, when you're working, when you're volunteering, when you're wearing your helmet, the most important people in the world, it's one word. Anybody know what the word is? Them. Them. It's big in the training circles now in the fire service. If you type in them, it comes up as a discussion. They are more important. They are more important than us. We're important, but they are more important. That's why we risk our lives for them sometimes, because they are more important. That's what they're paying for. That's why they pay their taxes. That's why they have a volunteer firehouse in their community. And that's why firefighters staff those firehouses, so we can produce and protect our communities. So, is there a lot more to learn? Yeah. Let's see who remembers one of the most important things I said last night, and it was about being ready. I'm not going to tell you anything else. What did I say? If you say it.
If you stay ready, you will always be ready.
That's right. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I heard that a couple of years ago, and it just clicked into my Polish mind. I am Polish. Well, actually, I'm half Polish and half Italian. I know there's Polish people here. Raise your hand. Okay. I'm half Polish and half Italian, which means I got a short temper, but I forget who I'm mad at. All right? That's funny. I don't care who you are. But anyway, yeah, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And that might be important for your toolbox in the garage or for something like that, but it's the most important for the fire service. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I see guys running into the firehouse, in a volunteer firehouse, tearing through the rack, looking for their gear, looking for their gloves. Oh, where's my gloves? Who took my gloves? Nobody took your gloves. You put them on the heater last run 2 days ago, so they were dry, and you forgot about them. Now you're looking for your gloves. So I think that's an important concept for all of you folks to remember as well. Hopefully some of the other points that I brought up today, and a couple maybe that we talked about last night. We had some fun last night. This is some crowd. I don't know who they belong to individually, but this is some crowd. There's a couple of real characters out here. All right. So good luck with that as well. So best of luck to all of you. Welcome to the fire service. I don't know where you're going with it. You may end up being a 20-year volunteer. You may end up being a chief of a paid fire department somewhere. I don't know where you're going with it, but you're now in the family. You're now in our group. And welcome to all of you as well, because they got you in it. You're in it now. You can't walk away from that. And thank you to all these instructors for doing a great job and producing this great crop of future firefighters for New Hampshire. Thank you.
All right, so 17 months ago, in that administration building, myself and John Karras were told that we had to, and Chief Tatral were told that we had to form a board of directors that would oversee this process to make everything fair and equal. And I'm happy to say that I think we have an amazing board, an amazing team that's worked so hard to put this together for you guys, and I know you've noticed that because you've told us. So right now I want to introduce board members that we have here today. Behind me to my right was my past Explorer Chief and co-chair of the board of directors, John Karras. Treasurer of the board, Mark Tatral. Our education director, who planned all of your classes, Eric Hewitts. Our medical director in all things EMS, Joe Stalker. Our saving grace, our secretary and IT director, Chris Nesbitt. And because this had to become an Explorer post for you guys to attend here, we had a liaison from the Daniel Webster Council, so Rick Mason. Board member Jake Martin. Board member in LRCC liaison Dustin Stream. Board member Mark Cook. Board member Tom Lanzera. And board member Jessica Colpois. So we met once a month for the last 14 months, and then it became 2 times a month, and the last month we essentially met once a week. Hundreds of phone calls and thousands of emails later, it was registration day. And part of that was putting together a staff that would be able to take on this task of leading you guys into the fire service and helping expose you to everything that we possibly could in 7 days. And I've said this so many times this week to them and to all of you. I think, and you guys can agree, that we have an amazing, amazing staff that worked really hard and are, I know, so proud of you. So now I want to introduce them. So we have 2 Commissioner Emeritus, John Karras and Leo Roy. Assistant Chief of the Academy, Mark Tatral. Division Chief of Education and Training, Eric Hewitts. Division Chief of Administration and IT, Chris Nesbitt. Division Chief of Cadet Operations, Mike Goldstein. Division Chief of Medical, Joe Stalker. Battalion Chief, Jake Martin. Battalion Chief, Amelia Asnev. Captain of Administration, Travis Beeson. And now your favorite captains. The Alpha Company Captain, Noemi Goose. Bravo Company Captain, Laurel Erwick. The Charlie Company Captain and Cam Beauchene. The Delta Company Captain, Steve Laporte. Echo Company Captain, R.J. Child. Foxtrot Company Captain, Nick Santi. Golf Company Captain, Nathan Gendro. Hotel Company Captain, Derek Travers. And Dave Moran, who couldn't be here today, was our staff photographer, retired out of Hudson Fire. And all of the pictures you guys are going to see on social media, he's taken well over 5,000 pictures, and they've come out amazing. Every time I look at them, I want to cry because I can't believe that it's here and it's happened, and now we're at graduation. So now I want to bring up Chief Goldstein for some awards. All right.
Which one to do first here?
So when I was 14, I attended this academy until I was 17. Assistant Director Phillips was one of my group captains. And as you all know, John Karras was our chief. He was my exploring advisor. Given that he was one of the original people that started this in 1992, we felt that we wanted to honor him today as a Commissioner Emeritus, an honorary award going forward that he will hold in this organization. So, John, you come up. Give him a hand. So because we had to start from scratch, everything had to be done from the beginning. From our bank account to our shirts, uniforms, our patches, all of it. And when we were trying to decide what we should do for a logo and a patch, we wanted it to be something kind of kid-friendly, special. So I asked someone very special to me if she would be able to design the patch. It's the patch that you all receive with your certificates. It's the design on all of our t-shirts. And it gives me great pride to know that this logo and patch is going to move forward for years and years to come as part of this academy. So Brooklyn O'Leary, could you come up please and give her a round of applause?
Thank you very much. Great work. Thank you so much.
Can I have the Echo Company captain come up, please? So every night when the cadets went to bed, hopefully at 10 o'clock, there was some noises coming from your rooms. The staff sat and we met and we talked about the day, what went good, what didn't go good, what we thought about what worked and what we could change, and basically what we thought how you guys were doing and how you were progressing in your classes. But it wasn't just about the classes. You know, it gets down to the core values of who you are as people. People that are willing to help others and put themselves out there. And in 2014, an explorer that attended here was killed in Afghanistan. He was very big into the fire service. He had several very close personal friends on our staff. So we thought it would be good to name the award after him. So there's always a piece of him at this academy. It's something you guys can take home with you, and some of those core values of going the extra mile to reach out to be there for people that might need a hand, even if it's just a smile or a hello in the hallway. We've all needed that this week, haven't we? Yeah, especially before room inspections. So Brandon Garabrandt was that explorer. He went here for 3 years. He was a lieutenant, and he paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country. So we decided to name that award after him. And I'm very happy to say that the person that's receiving the Brandon Garabrandt Memorial Explorer of the Year Award, there wasn't a lot of discussion. The name stuck right out, and is someone that valued those ways that Brandon lived his life, was always there for people, was always bringing people up, was always going the extra mile to make sure that his company was okay and other companies were okay. Almost as good a sense of humor as me, but I'm happy to say that the 2023 Brandon Garabrandt Memorial Explorer of the Year Award is presented to Christopher Nadeau.
There it goes. Congratulations. Make sure that works. Congratulations.
So every company had a lieutenant. These lieutenants applied for this position. They had to go through an oral board process with our battalion chiefs back in March, where they were asked a series of questions. They were challenged in those questions. They got questions asked back of them. I sat in on those interviews, and they all did an amazing job. I think everyone that was in those interviews was very impressed with how they responded and how they carried themselves. Even, high school kids going on a Zoom oral board showed up in dress clothes, which I thought was very impressive. So we do have an Officer of the Year award, and we all talked about it the other night, and all of you lieutenants, you all did phenomenal. Every single one of you stood out. Every single one of you went the extra mile. And we wanted to present this award to someone that was going 110% all day, every day, for his company and for other companies, and really putting himself out there and helping with whatever is needed. So the 2023 NHESETA Officer of the Year, Lieutenant Ethan Cook.
job. Have a job, brother.
Hello. So I'm Mike Goldstein. I've been working with them a lot. You got some great kids. And I appreciate you trusting us. We're all like a family. We all have brothers and sisters. That's what we call them. And the Explorers Post, I'm new to this. I'm like a probie to this whole program. I've never been part of the Explorer Post or any of this. So it was a whole new world. But I've noticed that you need a advisor to get these posts going. And without the advisors, these kids wouldn't be here. These advisors, again, are not getting paid. They're devoting a lot of time, a lot of effort, even taking days off of work to be a part of their educational program, whether it's being firefighters, EMS, or just learning about how to be better people. These advisors really take care of business, and it's a very big responsibility. So one of our advisors is here, and I gotta say, that dude's got passion. He has been all over the fire yard. He has been crying. I was gonna make an award for the most emotional, which he's probably gonna be. So he has been a hell of a father figure to his son and to his boys on the Plaistow Explorer Post. So we'd like to award the Advisor of the Year to Derek Travers.
Hell of a job, buddy. You did great.
You didn't give me a handkerchief.
So could I get the Officer of the Year and the Explorer of the Year to come up to the podium, please? We have something a little extra for you two. And just so you guys know, every night I did room inspections, and we kind of turned it into a comedy show. And Cadet Nadu decided to follow me in those footsteps, and the last 2 nights did performances for his fellow cadets. So we thought that was pretty awesome. He might actually be a better comedian than I am. So we wanted to do something extra special for you all. So when we knew that Chief Salka was coming, he offered to bring a gift, so I'll let him explain.
Yes, again, in my travels, I've written a couple of books, and I keep a pile of them at home for occasions like this, so I grabbed 2 of them before I left, spoke to Mike, and he said he had a couple of awards, a couple of top achievers in the class, so I brought 2 books I'd like to make a presentation right now.
If anyone sees a pair of glasses that's floating around, I want the Chris.
Chief Nesbitt, can you come up? So Chief Nesbitt is going to call your names. You'll come up by company, and you'll come get your certificate, and you'll shake all of our hands, and then you'll go back out and around. Okay? Yes, sir. It's the moment you've been waiting for.
So I've asked these guys a bunch of times how to pronounce their names, but I'm sure I will get one of them wrong at least. It's been a pleasure with you guys. Had a great week, and looking forward to seeing you guys back there next year, whatever capacity that is. We've divided them up into 2 battalions. Battalion 1 is Alpha through Delta Company. Battalion 2 is Echo through Hotel Company. So starting with Battalion 1, Alpha Company, Lieutenant Colin Lanzaro. Cadet Parker Barubi. Cameron Foster. Everett Frizzy. Patrick Jock. Olivia Judd. Benjamin Winter. Next up is Bravo Company, Lieutenant Emma Lingley.
Congratulations.
Sarah Boucher. Drew Haley. Camden Travers. Braden Thomas. Next up is Charlie Company, Lieutenant Eliza Hood. Cole Emmanuel. Jordan Guarenti. William Lehue. Zane Moriarty. Alexis Wentworth. Next up we have Delta Company. Lieutenant Tyler Howe. Clifton Bingham. Ethan Booth. Eric Briscoe. Ashton O'Neill. Mason Zabolis. Moving on to Battalion 2, we have Echo Company, Lieutenant Aiden Blake. Sophia Barubi. Matthew Costa. Costello. Christopher Nadeau. Camden Robinson. We have Foxtrot Company up next. Lieutenant John Bladger. Brian Atkinson. Gabriel Booth. James Johns. Regan Johnson. Anna Sullivan. Next up we have Golf Company, Lieutenant Miguel Avalos. Jonathan Chalonar. Jason Cherry. Sig Iverson. Madison Talbot. Matthew Vowles. From Hotel Company, we have Lieutenant Ethan Cook. Logan Benko. Liam Vecto. Edie Fisher. Austin McKay. Ronan O'Leary. Colin Poirier.
So I have one more thing I need to give out, and then we're going to have the pipes and drums play, and then we will do a closing remark and get you guys out of here and back to your families and homes so you can go to bed. And just so you know, despite what we did to their rooms this week, they all can clean, do hospital corners, mop, sweep, and dust. And they went a week without cell phones. So one thing my department does every year at our banquet, our awards are peer-based, so we vote for them. And I thought it was cool because my chief does one award that he decides. So I was thinking last night, talking to some of the other chiefs, and I was like, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do one. And this person that is getting the Chiefs Award has been beyond outgoing all week, has everyone laughing all day, every day, always has a smile on his face, hasn't had a complaint since day one, and he's just been kind of the happy face of this class. So the 2023 Chiefs Award goes to Eric Brusco. So before we let you go, on behalf of myself, the board of the directors, the staff, advisors, instructors, volunteers, we want to say thank you for giving us your best all week in the rain, the heat, the humidity. You guys absolutely crushed it. We couldn't be more proud of you guys. I look forward to seeing you all next year. I want to give a special thanks to Bob Welch, the pipes and drums, and Bob was with us almost daily this week instructing and got our Best Instructor Award. So thank you, Bob. So a few housekeeping things before we let you go and march you out. If you have medications, you're going to see Chief Stalker in the dorm before you leave, so you can get those back. Remember your gear, check your rooms. I did not do an inspection today. If you brought a cell phone with you, see Chief Goldstein. He has those locked up, so he'll be able to give those back to you. I love that you guys are a family now. Watching you at breakfast this morning, giving phone numbers, signing each other's shirts, talking about starting group chats. I sincerely hope to see you all back here next year in some capacity. As you go forward in the next year, be safe, look out for each other, be kind, and be respectful, because we know you can be, because you have been all week. So to the 2023 class, from myself and all of us, you are dismissed. You have to march out first, guys. You could all please stand as they march out.